The problem is that people say, well, you decided to be in the industry and you wanted to become a teacher. So if you don't like it, leave. And unfortunately, with that attitude, that is exactly what's happening. Good day everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Cailyn and this is Foundation First. Today I'm going to be talking about what I learned about teachers through my teaching career. Now, I've had experiences with many different teachers across my years of teaching. Excellent teachers and some teachers that not quite there in their professional development. You do get a wide range of teachers. You get teachers that are very intentional, dedicated to building relationships with children, some teachers who just try to do everything, some teachers who are more interested in the aesthetic of their lessons and their class, and some teachers who just are there, unfortunately, for a paycheck. However, in my experience, those teachers are very far and few between. What I learned about teachers is that a lot of them are really just trying to do the best that they can. We're there for the kids, we're there because we want to be there, not because we paid to be there. Promise you, if all of us were there just to be paid, a lot of us would not be there. What I learned about teachers is that teachers very often teach from the heart. They're there for heart reasons, not for head reasons. They're there for the kids. They want to do better, and a lot of them don't often know where to start. A lot of teachers don't know how to be there for children emotionally, but they know how to teach a concept really well. Some teachers have more strength in supporting children emotionally, but aren't very good at the admin side. Now, something that is very important for people who are not in the teaching community to understand is teachers want to be seen. They want to be seen, they want to be understood, and they want to be heard. Not for clout reasons, not to get awards, but to see for the good that they're doing and not just for the bad. Teachers just want a partnership between parents. They don't want to fight, they don't want to argue. They just want to show and work with you to find the best for your children. I've had great relationships with teachers. I've had very poor relationships with teachers, and that is very similar within teachers amongst themselves. Being a very female-dominated industry, it is very often that you get the drama behind the scenes, but at the end of the day, very often, if not always, teachers are able to separate that as part of their lives from what's happening in the classroom. Another thing I learned is that very often it is very hard for teachers to keep what is happening at home out of the class. We can put on a brave face, but deep down it's really hurting and hitting. Unfortunately, as much as we try, that does come out, whether it's at the children, or whether it comes out in how our class looks, whether we remembered to do that admin thing that we had to do for our managers. It comes out in whether we are able to be adequately sustained through the day, whether we are short-tempered, or whether we have more patience for the children than other days. These are things that are really important to understand as somebody that is not in the teaching community. People don't really understand, and people don't want to help and see what it's like to be a teacher. The problem is that people say, well, you decided to be in the industry and you wanted to become a teacher. So if you don't like it, leave. And unfortunately, with that attitude, that is exactly what's happening. Very good, very excellent, passionate teachers are leaving the industry because, well, what options were they given? They were not understood for where they were in their journey. They were wrung dry when they had nothing left to give. They eventually got to a point where they actually just couldn't take it anymore. However, there are lots of really good teachers that are still in the education industry. And it's important that we take care of them. And it's not just through praise, it's through also expecting a lot less of them, not in supporting your children because that's their job, but excluding and thinking of all the extra bells and whistles that everybody else that isn't in the classroom expects a teacher to be and to do. People say admin's just part of what teaching is, and that's true, but goodness, when does it stop? When is there a line? And who's advocating for the teachers? Is it the people that are the managers that are just passing down information from the top? The people at the top who are trying to make the money, therefore it trickles down into the laps of the teachers who are just trying to get through the day, just trying to get through the term, being there for their kids? Is it the parents that want the best for their children yet expect a detailed and individualized email to them every single day, an update on what's happening with their children weekly and things that they can improve on at home? whether you've got so many others, whether that teacher has 5 or 30 children in her class. It's very important for people outside of the classroom to understand you don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like until you are there. You don't know what it's like. You have never set foot in the classroom on the other side of the class. It's important to see the good that the teacher is doing and praise them for that, and think about what other bells and whistles do we not actually need in the classroom to help your child truly get the best of what they can get from the teacher and from the school. Not all the events, not all the celebrations, not all these extra things that teachers have to do to ensure that you stay at the school and don't go somewhere else. At the end of the day, the focus, unfortunately, is on retention of children and not retention of staff. And that's when you say goodbye to really, really good teachers. So it's important to remember that if you want the new teachers to learn from the really good teachers, those really good teachers need to stay in the classroom, because that's how those very good skills will be passed down. And unfortunately, that's not happening. So what I'd like to say to parents and to managers and to anyone else that's not sitting in the classroom right now, it's really hard. And very often what you are expecting of teachers is not fair. What can you expect of them? Best is to teach the children. Be there for the kids. There's so much that happens inside of a school that you don't know of. You need to be able to think, what do we really need inside a school for my child to get the best education that they can get? What does my teacher need to be able to feel supported in order to support my child? To feel seen, to feel heard. Something that we can just let go of once or twice, because actually there's a lot going on in her life, which might be the reason why she didn't send that note on time or has forgotten to put your child's label on his locker. So let's just take some time to think a little bit further than our reactions and our emotions, and think a little bit more logically. That is just some of the things I learned about teachers in my 8 years of teaching. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next one.